Middle-earth is a place where you go to when you feel bored or uninspired by life. There are tons of different characters, storylines, creatures and places to explore. Well, you don't really go there physically, but rather in your vivid imagination, with visuals helped by the movies of Peter Jackson and not by the Rings of Power. In the previous video we talked about the oldest ever beings of Middle-earth, and I would like to reiterate that these ages were calculated by their time of existence as physical beings in lands of Middle-earth, not in Valinor or as the Mire spirits before the creation of Arda. Many commented without even listening, but it's the internet and what can anyone do about it, right? So here in this video we will dive deep into the oldest characters of the mortal races of that place. That is men, dwarves, hobbits and orcs. So let's get to it. At number 10 we have Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins is the main character of the story of The Hobbit. He is a halfling, a hobbit of Hobbiton, and was quite respectable before Gandalf inspired him to go on an adventure. Bilbo was the first hobbit to become famous in the world at large, and one of the few to set foot in Valinor or the Undying Lands. Bilbo Baggins was born on September 22nd by Shire reckoning in the year 2890 of the Third Age. And when he journeyed to the west in the year of 3021 of the Third Age, he was 131 years of age, which makes him the oldest hobbit to ever live, aside from Gollum. At number 9 we have Bolg. Although appearing as a young orc in the Hobbit movies, Bolg is actually pretty old, and there are quite a few differences in the movie adaptation compared to the original work of Tolkien. Bolg was an orc leader of the northern orcs of the Misty Mountains in the late Third Age, and he is also the son of Azog. Bolg was stated to have been alive before the last battle of the War of the Dwarves and the Orcs in 2799 of the Third Age. His death was at the hands of Beorn in the original book during the Battle of the Five Armies outside of Erebor in 2941. This would mean that he is at least 142 years of age and maybe around 150 since he was already alive when Azog fell all those years ago. Number 8. Aragorn. Also known to the lesser men in Arnor as Strider and later renamed as the High King Elisar of the Reunited Kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor, Aragorn was one of the Dunedain, who are descendants of the faithful of Numenor, and as such he has in him a blessed bloodline that has longer lives than the men of Middle-earth. He was part of the Fellowship of the Ring and also heir to Isildur's throne in Gondor. He was born in the year 2931 of the Third Age, and his death would be 120 years after the commencement of the Fourth Age, therefore making him around 210 years old. Number 7. Isildur. He was the oldest son of Elendil and the brother of Anarion. He and his brother founded and jointly ruled Gondor in the south, while their father dwelt in Arnor in the north. In the War of the Last Alliance, Isildur cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand, but then he refused to destroy it in Mount Doom owing to the intense temptation the ring had on him. He was born in Numenor in the year 3209 of the Second Age, and he was killed in an encounter with the orcs in the disaster of the Gladden Fields in the year 2 of the Third Age, making him 234 years when he died. Number 6 we have Dain Ironfoot. While most of the dwarves of Middle-earth are stated to have a lifespan of between 200 and 250 years, I feel that this is important to state first before entering the first old dwarf here in this list. And this is Dain Ironfoot of the Iron Hills, who would later be crowned the king under the mountain after the Battle of the Five Armies. Dain was a brutish character who is the epitome of the dwarven demeanor, short, stocky, easily angered, and loyal to a fault. He was born in the year 2767 of the Third Age, and he died in 3019 during the War of the Ring, making him at least 252 years old at his time of demise. Number 5 we have Gimli. Gimli, the son of Gloin, was a dwarf of the House of Durin and a member of the Fellowship of the Ring. After the defeat of Sauron in the early Fourth Age, he was given the lordship over the glittering caves at Helm's Deep, which he presided over until he departed from Middle-earth. Over the years as a member of the Fellowship, he became one of the only dwarves to ever befriend an elf, Legolas, and he was the only one to enter the Undying Lands. Gimli was already 139 years old when he joined the Fellowship of the Ring when they set out from Rivendell, making him 52 years older than Aragorn at that time. And the last time he was seen in Middle-earth was in the year 120 of the Fourth Age, thus making him 262 years old at this time of departure. Number 4. Elendil. Also known as Voronda and Elendil the Tall, he was a man of Numenor and the father of Isildur and Anarion, who led the survivors of Numenor's downfall, to the shores of Middle-earth, where they founded two realms in exile, Arnor and Gondor. Elendil became the first king of both realms, and he held the title of the first High King of the Dunedain, making him overlord of all the exiled Numenorians in Middle-earth. He was born in the year 3119 of the Second Age, and died as a leader of the Free Folk during the Battle of the Last Alliance against Sauron in 3441 of the Second Age, therefore making him at least 322 years old at that time. Number 3, we have Dwalin. Dwalin was one of the dwarves who traveled with Bilbo and Gandalf as a member of Thorin and company on the quest to regain the Lonely Mountain from Smaug. Born in 2772 of the Third Age, 2 years after the dragon Smaug had desolated Erebor, Dwalin was the younger brother of Balin and had never actually seen the Lonely Mountain before the quest. Dwalin lived in Erebor ever since the Battle of the Five Armies ended, and all throughout his life in the Fourth Age of Middle-earth, until he passed away in the year 91 of the Fourth Age, at the great old age of 340, the oldest dwarf recorded. It might be true that Durin the Deathless was way older, but the exact age has never been stated or confirmed. So, Dwalin at your service. Number 2, the Numenorians in general. So the Numenorians are a race of men that have been blessed with long life, albeit still mortal and prone to eventual mortality. These people were given the island of Numenor at the beginning of the Second Age by the Valar. As a reward for their services during the War of Wrath, they were also gifted with far longer lifespan, 300 to 400 years or more on average, also with greater height, strength and wisdom. Number 1, Men of the House of Elros. So the House of Elros was the line of Elros' descendants, with Elros also being a part of it, and him being a half-elf and the brother of Lord Elrond. So due to his ancestry as he was half-elven, he was given the choice of either immortality of the Eldar or the gift of Iluvatar, which is immortality of men. He then chose to live as a mortal, but he had an extraordinary lifespan of 500 years. His descendants also inherited his longevity, but he was the only one who lived for so long, as well as being the longest-lived mortal human in this franchise. Tuor, being one of the only mortal humans gifted with immortality, is not included in this list as he was made immortal and was counted as one of the Eldar when he left for Valinor. And yeah, let's discount Arwen as well, since she has lived for 7,000 years or so before she then chose to become a mortal, so that kind of disqualifies her. Oh, we also have a notable mention. Gollum. Originally Smeagol, he was born in the year 2430 of the Third Age, and after a few decades of life, he discovered the One Ring, which corrupted him and also gave him extremely long life that far exceeds that of normal hobbits by more than 5 times. When the ring was destroyed in the year 3019 of the Third Age, Gollum would have been around 581 years old. Without the ring, he probably would have died around the age of 100, as all other hobbits. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster content, Middle-earth content as well, and Dune nowadays. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, fam.